Right now, genocide and mass slaughter are treated as being, that's a terrible problem. These things happen sometimes in faraway places. We do or we don't really understand it. But when you look at it as I have, and when you see these numbers, you see that it is a systemic problem of our world. It's a systemic problem of the international system in which we live. And so we need to recast our entire orientation and say quite clearly that genocide and mass slaughter is the major problem of lethal violence in the world today. And we need to start treating it that way. And one of the reasons we don't treat it that way is because of the obfuscations about it. It's seen as something that's been with humanity. It happens in faraway places. Ethnic groups, ethnic conflicts spill over or get out of control, and people start killing each other. There's not much we can do about it. How can we ever stop this? Most people feel, of course most people don't want it to happen, but they feel somewhat helpless in thinking about what can be done. But I think that it is not, that that's a false characterization of the nature of genocide, and that once we understand properly what produces it, we can actually fashion relatively easily effective policies to put an end to the killing or at least radically reduce its incidence. The first thing we need to do is recast even what the major problem is. I've told you, more than 100 million people, genocide, and so on. Genocide is treated as being this thing of its own, different from other forms of politics, when in fact it is actually a form of politics. And I don't mean it in the superficial sense in which people typically say, oh yes, of course, genocide is politics, there are states involved and so on and so forth. I actually mean that it is a political instrument that is used to achieve a clear set of political goals, and the goal that is typical, that for which it is an instrument, is to rid a country or people of another group or series of groups or population that they want to get rid of for one reason or another. It is actually a form of politics which can be called eliminationism. That is the desire to eliminate unwanted groups of people, groups that are deemed to be deleterious or threatening or an impediment to the good life in the future or what have you. And what you find is that many regimes, many states engage in eliminationist politics, and they use a variety of instruments in order to achieve their goals or to bring about their goals. Mass killing, genocide, which is the term we reserve for the largest of mass killings, is but one of those instruments. The others are severe repression, forced incarceration, concentration camps, reproductive prevention, preventing people, groups from reproducing themselves, expulsion, and killing, with genocide, or what the term reserved for the largest of killings.